Hello, my name is Rodney. I'm from the PO Gamer QGame YouTube channel. Today, I'm talking about another movie in my Fright Night Friday series. Actually, this is a series of movies, just two, and that is Guyver, or the Guyver, or whatever you want to call it. But this, yes, it's a science fiction movie, but it's actually got these like genetically altered humans, and they basically turn into monsters and everything. So for a kid, it's pretty scary. And it's not CG. They're actually like these rubber suits that are done fairly well. One thing I do, it kind of makes me mad about the movie. Not about the movie, but about the DVD. And that's the cover. It's like, wait, it's got Mark Hamill in it, Luke Skywalker. And it's got half the Guyver face and half his face on it. Mark Hamill does not get the guy is not the Guyver. Mark Hamill is like a cop in it. I'm not sure if you can see it on the back of it, but yes, right there, Mark Hamill with the mustache. So he is not the Guyver. He is not like the main star of the movie, but it is a good movie. There's actually a part 2, which is a different guy playing the Guyver. I can't remember the character's name, but both these movies are good. They use rubber suits. Literally, that's what the guy looks like. That's the rubber suit that he wears right there. But a little bit of story about the Guyver. The Guyver started off as a manga from Japan. I had no idea about this. I had no idea about any of this until after I'd watched the movies, because I saw these movies on Showtime when I don't even remember. Like, what year do these things come out? Yeah, I don't even. Normally they have a copyright date on it, but this one doesn't have it on it. But yes, actually, let me see. Did I have the receipt still in here from when I bought this? No, I do not. I quit. Like, it's kind of weird. I quit doing that for a while, but I actually now started doing it again. So if I buy a DVD, I always put the receipt inside of it. But after the manga was created, they created an anime series. So the Guyver Bio Boosted Armor. And this one was made, I think, in the 80s. It was either the early 90s, late 80s is when this one was made. Then in the 2000s, they made another Guyver series. Very good. Both this one, really neither of them complete. They both kind of end at a certain point. But this one goes further along than this one does. They're both good. I highly recommend the manga. But this is about the movies. Basically, synopsis of the movie, very similar to the anime. This kid gets this art. Basically, he finds this thing. It looks like, I don't even know, like a triangle with the corners cut off, and it's with like something coiled up inside of it, and a silver ball in the center of that. And it basically comes out, gets on him, and like absorbs into his body. He's kind of freaking out, and he thinks he's okay and everything, and then he has these like places on his back, and then when he wants, the Guyver armor comes out to protect him, it like shoots out and like comes over his body. Very cool effect, especially when I was a kid, when I was watching it. It was awesome. And then he's basically like superhuman. He starts beating the crap out of all these monsters. And so he's trying to save his girlfriend in the first movie, which that deviates from the manga and the animes. Because like they get her and everything, and the cop is trying to figure out what's going on, which is the guy that plays by Mark Hamill. Basically, everybody in this company, I want to say Kronos. No, he's a CIA agent. I'm sorry. I think the name of the company is Kronos. But that might be from the manga or the animes. I can't remember. But anyway, Whole idea of the story is that humans. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, I'm going. I might be getting the anime and the manga and the movies storylines a little mixed up here. So forgive me if I'm wrong on this. But aliens created humans to be weapons. So, and they used the Guyver armor on themselves so that they could actually make us do what they wanted. Then a human got the Guyver armor, and they realized that they couldn't compete basically with us, so they abandoned us on this planet, and we evolved. Well, now then people have found some of the ships from the aliens, and I think I'm actually combining kind of the storyline between these two also. And they get really strong, and basically they there's 3 Guyver armors. I know that's in the manga and anime, but I can't remember if that's in this one. I know there's another Guyver shows up in this one, but so this company is actually they find out, oh, we're actually weapons, so they basically start modifying us again and move us to the next level of a weapon. And it's so basically they're trying to get the Guyvers to put the armor on themselves and become extremely powerful. Because if you get a modified human that gets the Guyver armor, they'll be almost unstoppable, is what they think. That may or may not happen in the movie or in the anime or in the manga, but the storyline is basically, it focuses on this one boy, not Mark Hamill, which I keep pointing at this. He's trying to basically, in this one he's trying to live a normal life. He goes to an archaeological dig because they found an alien ship, and basically the minions. I want to say Kronos. I don't know why, but it doesn't sound back here. Zoonoids is the name of the humans that turn into these monsters, and really good. The costumes, because there's so many different ones. Some are kind of corny looking, but they're actually pretty good. I mean, when you watch and think of what this isn't a high budget film, but storyline wise, it's really good. I mean, the storyline of Guyver is really good. So they basically adapted it with American audiences. The monsters are a little very well. Okay, they're not a lot. They're a lot corny. Just their acting, what they do, but it adds to for me. That adds to the movie. I really enjoy how they just go all out and just kind of parts of it is pure comedy, and parts of it are really scary for a kid. I mean, it's not like this isn't like a really like, oh my god, that's going to scare me to death. An adult's going to watch this movie and probably laugh through it, but it's actually very entertaining. And this is what I would actually consider something, if somebody trying to get into sci-fi or into horror movies or both, these movies wouldn't be a bad start. Part 2, not so much. It's not as good, but Part 1, I would think is really good. But I'm actually going to tell you about how I remember this movie and how I saw it. Like I said before, I saw it on Showtime when I was probably maybe 12, 13 years old. Me and my brother, we always stayed up really late, and we always loved watching the movies on that because, I love B-horror movies. And to me, they're some of the best ones because I love it because they're trying to do so much on no budget whatsoever. And sometimes it's really good. Sometimes you get Dracula 3000, which is not that great of a movie. But I think it's funny and I think it's entertaining. So, staying up late, watching, and this came on. And the first time I ever saw it, because you know how HBO, Showtime, how Cinemax, how all those are, is that they show a movie 4 hours later, they show it again. So I saw it. It's like at 10 o'clock, and I just caught it during one of the fight scenes when there's the Guyver and all the monsters. I was like, oh, looks awesome. And I basically stayed up just so I could, because I didn't watch the movie. I saw that fight scene, watched it, and was like, okay, I want to watch this later. And I knew, at that time, I knew exactly when the movie come on again. So I basically turned the channel, came back to it later, and it was 11, well, that's probably like 12, 1, 2 a.m. And watched it, loved it, and I didn't see the second one until years later. And another probably on HBO or Showtime or Cinemax, something like that. I watched it on. And then I kind of forgot about them for a while. And then when I was probably 17, 18 years old, I remember going to the video store I used to go to called Movies to Go, and they had this. I remember renting it on VHS and taking it home and like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to watch, and loving it. I mean, it's still extremely corny, the acting is questionable at parts, but I was highly, highly entertained. Very much loved it. My brother is kind of like, but he enjoyed it. But I remember I remember these movies, and they're part of, like, things like this that I remember watching, especially with me and my brother, or late night when I was growing up. Those really bring back a lot of memories, and I think I watched them on a small, probably 13, 15-inch TV. It wasn't that big. And at first, this is when I was really young. It's probably 8 or 9 years old. We had the box. We had to change channels. You actually walked up and there's a button you pressed, and there were like, oh gosh, probably 20 buttons across it, and there's a little switch. So it goes through 1 through 20. You put the switch down, and it goes from 21 through 40. And it was. But then we changed. We got one. It had a remote control and a digital display on it that it would change. So yeah, I remember like channel 22 was HBO. I think 21 was Disney Channel, and 22 was Showtime, if I remember correctly, in my neighborhood. But it's just so many things, little things like that just bring back so many memories. And these movies are two movies that really bring back memories. I did remember seeing this on probably Showtime also, but I didn't understand what it was, and I didn't remember. And there's like 12 episodes of this. This is the original series, the anime series that came out, and they never showed all 12 episodes in a row. They'd start like episode 5, and then they'd show episode 6. Well, that's all they'd show. And then 4 hours later, they'd show episode 5 and 6 again, and you'd never really. So I didn't really watch those, but I do remember seeing them. And the other anime, this one, I didn't get this until I actually went to college and I bought these individually from like Suncoast or Best Buy or wherever. Let's actually see. This one will quite possibly have the receipt in it. Ha. No, it doesn't. Well, anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back next week with another Fright Night Fridays video. It'll be after Christmas next week, so I've already done my Christmas Fright Night Fridays video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put a link to it right here. It's actually, I like it because I actually gave some pretty good, in my opinion, some pretty good Christmas horror movies that you should check out. But hope you enjoyed it, and until next time. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a like. If you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I release at least 2 videos a week. Most of the time I release more. Leaving a comment actually helps me a lot. Helps me know what you'd like, dislike, or would like to see on my channel. So go ahead and leave me a comment. If you would like to get in touch with me, have any questions, anything like that, you can go ahead and email me at vmail@poldgamer.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time.